Okay, we're going to look at multiplicity in a separate video because it's something that tends to confuse people. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I just think that it's a word that most people haven't heard, and so I wanted to really give it some special attention. So any repeated linear factors result in a multiple zeros. So think about in the last unit, in Unit 5, we had things like this. And if we solved those, if they were equal to 0, if we solved those, we just got x equals -1. And it was one of the rare cases where we didn't get two solutions, we just got one solution. But based on this definition, it is actually that we just have multiple zeros. So we do have still multiple zeros, it's just that they're both at -1. And so the multiplicity is equal to the number of times the zero occurs. So I would say that x equals -1 with a multiplicity of 2, because since this was a 2 here, that means that's how many times that zero occurred. So if I look at something that's already in factored form, I am going to find the zeros. So what would the zeros be in this case? All right, so I'd have x equals +2 because I'm changing the sign. Think about it, if you need to think about it like this, and then adding 2 to both sides, that's fine. Here I would get x equals -1, and here I'd get x equals -1. So I'm seeing multiple zeros. So x equals 2, there's no other like factor of x equals 2, so this one just has a multiplicity of 1. But with -1, I see a couple things. First of all, I wrote it out twice, but then on top of that, this one has a squared on it. So that means that when I put all of these together, I don't have to write it twice. I can just write it one time. And I can write it that it has a multiplicity of 3. Hear me when I say this. The multiplicity numbers, so in this case 1 and 3, should always add up to equal how many x's were in your original problem. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because again, that squared means that this is being written twice. If we need to think about it this way, we can rewrite the whole thing like this. And if it helps you to see it written out, go for it. If you're like, nope, I got this, I understand, that's fine, but I can see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, so my multiplicity numbers should add up to equal 4. Let's try one more, but this time we are going to factor it. So first thing I'm going to factor is what? I'm going to take out a GCF. And so I'm going to get x squared minus 4x plus 4. So I've got x and then x, not x plus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2. So when I solve these, I'm going to get x equals 0 for the GCF, and then this one just becomes x equals 2. But then this one was also x equals 2. So I'm going to write multiplicity of 1 for 0 and a multiplicity of 2 for x equals 2, because this occurred twice. And if I look at my degree, it's 3. 1 plus 2 is 3, so that means that I did something correct. Multiplicity just tends to confuse people because, like I said, it's something that's just a little bit different, something that we haven't really thought through, but we want to account for every single possibility. We don't say that there are only 2 solutions here, because since it's x equals 3, it actually means there are 3 solutions. It's just that one of them occurs twice. So let me know if this makes sense. If it doesn't, if it doesn't make sense, let me know what questions I need to clarify or ideas I need to help with, and I will do whatever I can to help.